everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy. If you are new around here, I've had quite a few new subscribers, which is great, so I just wanted to say welcome. Today is one of my What Sold Wednesday videos. I will give you all of my numbers, so that includes the sale price, what fees that get taken out, the shipping that gets taken out, my average cost of goods which gets taken out, and then I let you know what I am taking home for the week. I did skip last week's just because there really wasn't much going on. It wasn't a great sales week, but I did add it into today's just because there were a couple Bolo brands that I wanted to point out. So I'm going to go over the week before and then last week's as well. The only sale that I ran those 2 weeks, I did closet clear out a couple times on Poshmark, and then on my eBay store, I think like 2 days or something like that before the new year, I ran a 30% off sale on a couple items. I didn't get any sales from it, so not a big deal there. So now this is the portion where I turn you around. I let you see what my listings look like so you can see my photos, my descriptions, my titles, and all that good stuff. So we will flip you around. Okay, so just for the numbers of last week, or 2 weeks ago, December 18th through the 24th, like I said, sales were not great by any means. Mercari, only 3 sales for $64. After fees, I made $53.68. Poshmark, only 9. Gross sales, 132. After the fees, I made 150. And then on eBay, that one kind of saved me a little bit, $158.19 and 3 sales, and that gave me a profit of $117.25. For Depop, once again, nothing. So my gross sales were only $354.19 after fees and shipping. And then I used an average cost of goods this month. It was $299. So that left me with a take home of $217.73 for the week, with an average sale price of $23.61 and 15 items sold. So now we'll quick look at what those items were. Poshmark, it was a Miller Lite camo hat. This I think I got at Goodwill for $1.99. That sold for $15. Topshop, I'm not a huge fan of this brand. This came in a Quick Lots box and sold for $46. It was a good size 14, and a good color. Skechers, I thought these would have sold for more. I did sell a similar pair, I think it was the week before this week. These I picked up at Goodwill for probably $7. Going forward, I don't know that I will pick up this style any longer. It sat for quite a while and didn't go for very much. Pair of vintage leather black pants, size 6. These went for $10. I've had those for quite a while. Victoria's Secret, I've been pretty picky when it comes to picking up the bras. It really depends now, just because Victoria's Secret has so many sales on their own that you can sometimes get the bras for fairly cheap new. So I'm definitely being more picky with that. This Carhartt shirt, I thought this would have went for more. It was vintage. It's the Henley style. It was a bigger size, but there was a bleach stain on it, I think. So that went for $10. I'm not a huge fan of picking up glassware just because I don't love shipping it. But this one did catch my eye. It was depression glass, pink depression glass. Had this cool outer rim. So I thought maybe someone would appreciate that. I think I only paid $2 at Goodwill. In the grand scheme of things, the amount of supplies I used to pack it, the time it took for me to pack it, probably won't pick this up again. I maybe would keep something like this for myself as opposed to selling it. Sonoma, this brand is from Kohl's. I never do great with this brand. I thought this was a good pickup at Kohl's. I think they do it twice a year where they have like crazy sales, and it's like, I don't know, 50% off and then another 60 to 70% off that price. Something along those lines. I went there and I looked for anything that, I thought I'd be able to flip fairly well. These are a plus size 24. They're wide leg, high rise, so I thought for sure that would be great. Yeah, I've had these for over a year. Very little interest. On those sales, I think the best that I did find there to flip were Draper James, any type of dresses that are longer in length. If they're linen, if they have A plaid print that is similar to Christmas colors seems to do well. Velvet, anything plus size. I would stay away from the smaller sizes. Those I was picking up anywhere from like $2 to $5, and those flipped within the $25 to $35 range. Torrid, I said I was giving up this brand kind of, but I still seem to pick it up for whatever reason. This only sold for 20. It was a sweater. I only had it listed for probably a week and a half though, which was decent, but I probably paid close to $4 or $5. It did come from Savers. Now onto Mercari. This was a vintage front and back graphic Christmas sweatshirt. This I picked up at the bins quite a while ago, and it went for an offer of 19. Another item from Torrid. This came in one of my thread-up boxes. It didn't have a size. I did go and measure it, and then also I put in their size chart and then said it was a size 12. Didn't seem to have a problem. They rated it 5 stars, so seemed to be good there. That went for 22. I am starting to sell swimsuits already. This screamed Y2K to me with that. If you watched any of my 12 days of keywords, this definitely fits Coconut Girl. It has that Hawaiian floral print, and this went for an offer of 12, and I think I paid $1.99 at Goodwill, and that sold within a week of listing. Now onto eBay. This I picked up at the bins. I'm not exactly sure the pronunciation. I think it's Cezanne. It's just a really lightweight blouse. I think it was silk. Let's see. Cotton and silk blend. So I picked this up at the bins. I probably paid, I don't know, less than $1. And it would probably was only 4 ounces. This went for an offer of 65, which was fine with me. And then a pair of Dickies jeans. These were new with tags. These also came from the bins. I think that same bins trip actually. And this went for an offer of 16. This I also got at the bins, Morbid Threads. This is their vintage label, an older label, has a paper tag. It was a size medium. I probably could have got more for it. I didn't realize until I got home there was this little cigarette burn, I believe is what that was. And that was kind of here, like in the skirt area of the dress. But that did go for an offer of 50. I think I had it listed for probably, I don't know, 12 hours, and someone offered me 50. I thought about holding off, but it was a decent offer for that amount, so I did take that. And I didn't have many sales coming in that week, so we went with that. Okay, so now we are talking about last week, so December 25th through the 31st. It was a little bit better. I would hope things pick up here this coming week. Mercari, again, only 3 items sold for $67. That left me with a profit of $56.15. Poshmark, 21 items sold for $654. After fees, that left me with $523.20. Good average sale price here, though, $31.14. I was pretty good, happy with that. Normally, Poshmark is a little bit lower and eBay is higher, so we kind of had a flip-flop here. eBay, only 3 items for $75.64. After fees and shipping, I get $49.28 with an average sale price of $25.22. So I got rid of Depop here, and I will start putting my live sales, I think, in there. We'll see. Totals for the week, $796.65. Fees and shipping, and then my average cost of goods, that leaves me with $547.90 with 27 items sold and an average sale price just under $30, which is great. That's something I'm also going to be working on this year, is trying to increase that average sale price. I'm sure all of us would prefer to do less work and get more money as opposed to selling things that, you know, are only going for $10, $15. So now we will look at those items that sold. Starting with Poshmark, I got this jacket at the bins. I was pretty hesitant before I took it home and bought it, just because it's white. I'm never a huge fan of buying white at the bins because you just never know, and the lighting isn't great there. There was one mark, I think, like right here that I was able to get out, and then there was a little bit of pilling. And I looked this jacket up. It was on, I think, Amazon for $60. Plus size. The fur, or the faux fur, was still in good condition, so that sold for $40. Another Torrid piece, I got this at the bins. All of the tags had been removed on the top part, but it did still have the care tag with the information on the bottom. So I felt confident in being able to say that this was a Torrid dress. And I did measurements and knew that it fit like a 2022 plus size, and that one for 19. Franco Sardo, I sell a lot of their shoes. These were just a pair of kind of quirky heels. They had this round heel. These I think I got at the bins probably for $3. Those sold for 23 fairly quickly. Calvin Klein, this also came from the bins. New with tags. It had a faux leather trim here at the neckline. I do pretty well with Calvin Klein dresses. It seems to be better if they are over a size 12 and if they are new with tags. And kind of just like this sheath style does the best. Tory Burch, these came in, where'd these come from? A thread up box. They didn't have a size. I measured them. Those sold for 32. Kate Spade, I don't do well with this brand in clothing, but I did find this at Goodwill. I'm guessing probably it's been at least a year since I've had this, and that sold for 34. Swimsuits are selling, so if you do have them, start listing them. I've told you in a couple other videos that probably starting in like November, that's when I'm really starting to look for swimsuits. Newest tag do best, just because people do travel over the Christmas vacation time, and then once it starts getting colder, they start traveling more, and you might need swimsuits. Most places don't have swimsuits available to buy in an actual store, so they might be looking online. This is Trina Turk. I think this is the only thing I'd probably pick up from her brand. I've had dresses before, they just don't do well, but swimsuits do fairly well. 35 on that one. These AG jeans, I got this in a Quick Lots box. They were men's. I think I had them listed for 50, and I went back and forth with somebody a couple times and we settled on 40. Athleta, this brand, I'm pretty hesitant on what I pick up. Definitely, I don't pick up any leggings unless they are plus size or there's something special about them. But this style pullover sweater, I've sold a couple times, and I think I paid up probably $8 for this at Savers, but it did sell within 2 weeks for 34. Loft, I can't believe that it sold for this much, actually. I picked it up at the bins because it was super lightweight. It had this really neat sleeve, and that was like the only thing that was kind of drawing me to it. Normally for Loft, I will only pick it up if it's plus size, and this is a size small, and it did go for 18, which was amazing. This is a pair of vintage black Doc Martens. These were my sister's. She was going through her closet and she was like, "Oh, do you want to sell any of these things?" And I was like, "Of course, I would want to sell a pair of 1990s black Doc Martens." They did have some damage here to the toe, but I mean, they're from the 90s, and I think I probably paid her $10 for them, and they sold within probably 2 weeks. Otherwise, Doc Martens, I'm really kind of hesitant on paying up for them or honestly buying them in general. It seems like they are pretty oversaturated right now. You can find them sometimes, depending on your location, at TJ Maxx, at Ross, new with tags for fairly cheap. So I'm kind of staying away from that unless they are vintage. They had a crazy cool design, I would, consider it, but just plain black newer ones, those I am passing up on if they're overpriced. Here's another Calvin Klein dress, size medium. This was new with tags. I honestly thought this would probably sell before New Year's because it did have kind of a holiday vibe, but it sold after. These I picked up at the bins. They're vintage acceleration from Target, just some faux leather clogs. Those sold for 28. These surprised me as well. Not Your Daughter's jeans. I normally only pick these up in like probably 14 and over for sizing. These came in a Quick Lots box, and they were new with tags, only a size 2. They did sell for full asking price, I think, within like a week of listing. This is one of my favorite brands to sell for gowns. Aina for MacDougall or Dougal. I'm not exactly sure the pronunciation. I get these a lot in the Quick Lot boxes. This one I've had for over a year. I think it might be kind of a hard sell just because I don't really know where you're wearing this unless it's like a wedding dress. And there was a small snag like right on the front on the chest right there and here, I think. So it was only a size 4. I had relisted, delisted quite a few times, and I think I had it listed or dropped the price all the way down to 50, and somebody bought that, which is great. I think my average cost of goods for that was $7 maybe. This I picked up at the bins mainly just for style based. I'm pretty sure it's a costume. It's just like a velvet feel skeleton hooded dress, size extra large, that sold for, I believe, full asking price of 15. Cheyenne jeans. This brand I do not pick up anymore. I'm not exactly sure why I picked these up to begin with. They were a size 31. I've had them for quite a while and they sold for 20. Cole Haan. This brand is kind of hit or miss as far as shoes go. These were a bigger size 10, patent leather stilettos. Someone offered me 20 and I let those go. Here's another swimsuit. This I picked up at the bins, plus size 28. For swimsuits that are plus size in this style, where it's kind of like fitted on the top and then a skirt, and then you have the underwear piece underneath it. As far as brands go, I don't think it really matters so much when it's plus size, just as long as it looks slimming, is good quality, I would pick it up. Um, just because as far as these bigger sizes, when you get to like 28 and things, you don't really find those in the store. So I think when people are looking for those, they're probably looking online. So this was a great pickup. This went for, I think, an offer of 23. I probably had it listed at 25. Varley, this was a new brand to me. I thought this would go for more. I've had this relisted, delisted for, I'm gonna say almost a year, maybe since summer. I can't remember. But I finally just let it go for 25. And then the last sale last week for Poshmark was this cabbie jacket. I got this at Savers. The comps looked great. It looked like it was in new condition. Cabbie is a hit or miss brand for me. I feel like there's certain items that people are really looking for, and those move very fast. And then there's some that just sit forever for me, and those I normally end up sending to ThredUp if I can't sell them. And this went for 65. Now into Mercari. This was a Betty Boop shirt from 2005. She's on a motorcycle and a size large. This I only listed, I think, for a week and someone bought this. Picked this up at Savers. It was in the women's t-shirts, which I thought was kind of strange. Normally other vintage shirts are in the men's area. And I think it was only priced at like $4.99. This was an oversized sweater. I picked this up at a rummage sale. I think it was only like $1. And this went for an offer of 20. Chico's, I'm being very selective now with this brand. There was a period of time where I was finding a lot of it and I thought it would sell better. It really doesn't for me. So from now on, I'm mainly looking for substantial fabrics, so silks, linens, wool, jackets, definitely plus size, anything. It's got to be over like size 14. And also, if it's new with tags, that helps. But I still have some of those in those same categories that have just been sitting for me. So we'll see. Knox Rose, this is just Target. I got this at Goodwill for $1.99. It was new with tags, a bigger size, but I didn't notice until I was photographing it. There was like this weird stitching that happened. I don't know what happened there, but I did note it and they offered me 14, so I was happy that that was sold. Soft surroundings, this burgundy top with kind of this swirly neckline. This went for an offer of 22. I picked this up at the bins, probably only paid $1 or so for it. And then the last one on eBay was a goddess long line bra, kind of like corset type thing. This was new with tags, and this went for an offer of 20. This brand seems to do fairly well for me when it comes to like shapewear or this type of corset type thing. I find it quite frequently new with tags. I don't know if this is like a brand that is sold at like David's Bridal or bridal places because I do find it a lot new with tags. So I'm guessing something along the lines is happening there. But I do have a very good sell-through rate for this. So going into this next week, I've been kind of lowering a lot of prices on stuff that I want to get rid of. I'm going to start doing my inventory probably tomorrow. That entails me going through all of my bins that I have and just kind of purging stuff that isn't great inventory, probably shouldn't have bought. And then I will liquidate that using Plato's Closet or ThreadUp or potentially anything that I don't think will do well at either of those, I put in my rummage sale. I said in past videos, I'm going to do a couple videos once it gets closer to that. My mom and I do 2 in the summer, and we do fairly well in those. So I wanted to show you kind of what our setup looks like, how we run it. The majority of my clothes that were bad buys, they either get thrown into tubs that are 50 cents a piece, which people absolutely love. It's a great deal. I do have a dollar rack, and then we do have clothing racks that are a little bit more than $1, but I will get into that all in that video. And then some of the stuff too from my bins, that when I do my inventory, I just end up donating. So as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving me a like as you go. It really helps out the channel. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. Thanks. I will see you on the next video. Bye.